Hello, I'm Catherine Lash, owner, spiritual mentor, and life force professional at SpiritQuest Sedona Retreats. I'm here to initiate a profound change, not only in your core essence, but in your fundamental life view. The mission of SpiritQuest is to awaken within you your own empowerment. Do you need to shift your way of thinking or being? There's no time like today to step into that place where you feel a new rejuvenation and a new awakening. SpiritQuest offers private retreats, group retreats, and masterful webinars to guide you to the fullness of the richness of being. I'm Catherine. Join us and seize the day. Hi, I'm Catherine. Thanks for joining me today for a session utilizing color as a healing element for male empowerment and male enhancement. So this session will help you incorporate the beautiful dynamic rainbow of the universe of all energetics of being, to raise your awareness in order to bring that into your life. I hope that I can achieve a new perspective or a new way of seeing color that will help you in that self-diagnosis for healing, so that you can be the best you can be. We know that color is nothing more than vibration. Color is frequency. Color, it consists of wavelengths. The light spectrum, the color spectrum, from red to violet, consists of a series of waves. As we move up the spectrum, the waves get shorter and closer together. So we start with red on one end of the spectrum and violet on the other, and everything that's in between. We know in our lives that at certain moments we're drawn to particular colors. What we may not know is that there might be a reason for that. And when we pay attention to the colors we immerse ourselves in, or even what we eat, what we're drawn to eat, this tells us a lot about ourselves. Do you eat a rainbow? When you look at the foods you're drawn to, are they bright and vibrant, healthy? When you look at the colors that you surround yourself in, whether it be in your home or in your clothing, do you incorporate a number of colors, or is it always just the same drab selection of browns, beige, and white and black? Color's there to excite us. It's there to free us from the mundane. It's there to remind us of all that can come our way. And that's what I'd like to explore with you today. And we will be using color as nothing more than just a tool of awareness. So keep that in mind, that this awareness has to do mainly with waking up and self-examination, so that you can be the best you can be. And to start, I would like to also let you know that it's nice to incorporate cards. These are wonderful cards for just inspirational sayings and quotes you can pull each morning or evening or whenever you feel, to begin to resonate more on a higher level. And I'd like to start the session just by selecting a card at this moment that I can share with you. And let's see what meaning you can bring to the card. This card says, I am free. I let go of my old beliefs and any limitations I may be holding. that may hinder my growth. I return to the source of all inner programs that hold me in fear and doubt. I am free to be all that I can be. I am a master of my own life. Again, I am free, letting go of old, limiting beliefs. So, at this point, we're going to go ahead and work with some of the color and bring some awarenesses in. And the first one we'll start with is the bottle of Gethsemane. And this bottle has to do with the perspective that the only limits that you have are the limits that you set for yourself. You notice that this is a yellow over green. The yellow is the chakra that has to do with trust and surrender. The solar plexus brings us energy to move forward with trust. Indeed, this bottle's all about the test of faith, isn't it? The test of faith in the Garden of Gethsemane. But the garden here is the garden of the heart. The green of the expansiveness of the heart. So it's the test of faith in the heart. And the yellow is the surrendering of the ego, surrendering of the control, in order to trust the heart, in order to let go of self-doubt. When you trust your heart, you trust your greater I am source. Because we have the egoic speak of the mind, and we have the heart speak of the spirit. So the true test of faith is going into that place of heart speak. Heart speak is what spirit wants you to know about the situation and about what the egoic mind has already said about it, because the egoic mind always has something to say about anything and everything, and it will speak immediately. But now you have the space, you have the time, you have the empowerment to say, what does the heart say about this? And what are the undercurrents? What's the deeper level of truth? The deeper level of knowing and being. And this bottle is asking you to let go of the lack of self-confidence and to step into your empowerment, step into your I am self, step into your connection with Source, and to trust that more. And even though it might go against what you thought you should have done, or what so-and-so says, or what society is demanding of you, if you know you're coming from that place of centeredness, place of the heart, place of Source, you know through that ultimate test that you will move further along your path into surrender, into trust, into happiness, and the freedom that we talked about with that first initial card. Thanks. The next bottle is the Star Child. This is a beautiful bottle for balancing the male-female aspects of self. As you can see with the blue for the masculine, the pink for the feminine. These bring in the two powerful sides of ourselves. That side which needs to move and take initiative, act upon things, make it happen, be proactive. And that gentle side that needs to relax and soothe and go within and hold space and just be. This bottle is extremely powerful for unconditional love. And we have the blue of the throat chakra, which talks about expressing authentically how we feel and what we need. It puts an emphasis on good communication with others, strong, yet very gentle through the pink. The pink is the rose quartz core of the heart. This holds the core values of the heart. When we question ourselves, where do I live in my life? Do I live in the core of my heart? Those values are honesty, love, humility, service, listening, forgiving, compassion, non-judgment. When we live in that kind of integrity, and we leave behind the harshness of dishonesty and resentment and vindictiveness and non-forgiveness, those types of issues are the ones that destroy. They destroy yourself, and they'll destroy your relationships. So this bottle goes back to the core of the child, the star child, who brings the ultimate information to us, that a healthy life and a happy life is when we return to those basic qualities of a child. The children are born with the laughter, the giggling, the non-judgment, the freedom. And when we go there, we indeed go back to a place of balance and joy and health. The next bottle we'll be talking about today is the Archangel Gabriel. And this is the magenta over the gold. This is such a gorgeous bottle, as you can see, because it brings in that star of being. If you think of the solar plexus area, imagine a gold star, the star of the center of self, where we can bring into our being that new life force of every day. When the sun rises, it's a new opportunity to reinvent yourself, to be something better than you've ever been in your life. And the magenta in this beautiful bottle is a combination of all frequencies, of all vibrational elements of light. Magenta is the combination of the light of all things and all beings. So people often talk about what's important in life. So magenta reminds us of what is important in life. And because it brings in all the frequencies of all other colors, it brings in the notion that even the smallest minute elements are important. And indeed, we find that most joy is in the small elements of life. The sunrise, the sunset, drinking your tea, petting your cat, sitting in the sun, soaking up those rays, smelling the flower, noticing the rainbow. That's what the magenta represents, is love of the little things. And for this bottle, it reminds us to take the time to find those things as golden, to pull those elements into ourselves, to take the time just to notice them and to appreciate them. And then that gold light begins to be brighter and brighter. And we have a sense of safety and trust that we are being held in the arms of the divine. And it's splendid, and it's beautiful, and it's everywhere, all about us, every day. The only difference is whether or not we are awake or asleep to it. That's the only difference. Did you notice? This bottle is extremely important to remind us that the little moments are golden and the missed opportunities are tragic. The next bottle is the Hope bottle. As you can see, this is a beautiful combination of green and purple. Green being the expansiveness of the heart, and purple being the intuition of the third eye. We know that in the past, purple was reserved for royalty only. It was a royal color, but not anymore. Now it's yours and mine. That royal purple is there, beckoning us, reminding us that we have a new eye, the third eye. And while our other eyes might take in that egoic self, an examination of what life seems to be around us, the third eye can see through the spiritual doors of what's really happening. We see beyond the appearance of the moment. And this bottle brings hope. It brings hope that your spiritual journey is just unfolding, just beginning. And as you continue down that road of learning and exploring, doors may open where you begin to heal the timeline not only of your own life, but the timeline perhaps of your family, the timeline perhaps of generations, the timeline perhaps of eons, of lifetimes. Where will you go with this? How far can you go? How much can you heal? How much can you see? Can you take the time to go to that place where true healing of self starts and continues on to free others and to teach your children and to move to that next generation above and below, to know what healing is. What does it mean to live on a path that is a place of alignment, that's healthy, that's free, that's in alignment, that's balanced? Do you understand what that is? Have you found it? Do you feel it? And I'll tell you what the test is. The test is if you feel joy, if you feel happiness, then you're there. Then you can reach it. Then those moments you've touched it. And the greatest thing to do is to work every day to go there again and again and open the fullness of joy in your life. The fifth bottle we're going to talk about today is the Florence Nightingale bottle. Notice that this has the magenta on the bottom and the violet on the top. We all remember Florence Nightingale. So this bottle has to do with bringing in a healing, and it has to do with letting go of disappointments. We know that disappointments arise in our lives due to expectations. So when we are not living in a free surrender kind of energetics, we might be in a controlling atmosphere where we are trying to project what we want to happen or what we expect to happen, and that's called expectations. We're setting ourselves up for disappointment because nothing goes exactly as we think it will. And indeed, if we open the door to being more in the moment and accepting what is, saying yes to the now, then we delight in whatever unfolds. And often things unfold that are absolutely unexpected and maybe much better than we ever dreamt could have existed. This bottle reminds us to step into that Florence Nightingale healing of ourselves, to let go of our disappointments, to stop trying to control everything and expect that you know how all things should manifest. And just surrender. Surrender into joy, surrender into freedom, surrender into acceptance. Our last bottle today is the blue over red, bringing heaven into earth. This is connecting the root chakra red with the sky heaven, bringing that information and grounding it into your life so you have a better quality of life. Knowing and believing that when you take the time to work on yourself and grow, it pays off. And it will infiltrate into your own being, but into every aspect of your life, including your relationships, including all things that you are involved in. It's worth the investment. It's worth the time. It's worth that extra energy. And that's exactly what red is all about, energy. It's the flame of burning out the old and reigniting and fueling the new. To do it now, not waste another day, but to actually embark on a journey of self-growth and self-knowledge, and know that there's so much more to you than just how you define yourself egoically. Your job, whether you're married or not, if you're a father, these are wonderful things, but they're only aspects of you, egoic aspects of you. And you want to do your job well, but they are not your soul essence. They are not who you are to your depths of being. And that's what you want to discover, and that's what you want to find, is when you strip all those things away, because they will be stripped away. Eventually, it will all be stripped away. What will you be left with? Do you love it? Do you know it? Is there anything there? Go out, seek it, find it. It's yours for the taking. So to end this session, I'm going to choose a card to share with you. This card is Open Doors. I no longer listen to the voice of my ego. It knows only fear and suffering. I turn to the voice of my divinity. It lifts me up towards my full realization. Everything becomes clear. Harmony reigns in my life, and the doors of the universal heart, these open to nourish me with light. I hope you've enjoyed this session. I'm Catherine. Thanks.